Hi everyone, my name is Kimberly and I am a nutrition coach with Fat Loss Mom School, and I'm going to talk today about how to build a plate for fat loss. And this is a really important training. We don't count calories in Fat Loss Mom School. And here's why. We eat according to a template, and through that, we actually balance our hormones so that we're not hungry all day, and we naturally just eat less. I think a low carb fat loss plate is very effective, and it actually kills your cravings. So, when building a fat loss plate, we need to consider a couple of things. We need to consider what our bodies need to function. They need fat, they need protein, they need carbohydrates, they need vitamins, they need minerals, and they need water. So we need to focus what our body needs to build our cells, and our bodies need nutrients. But we as Americans, we tend to be more carb focused and not focused on any other nutrients. So I'm sure that will resonate with some of you. Our plates are generally filled with bread or pasta, but reality is that carbs, they're not an essential nutrient. So if you never eat a carbohydrate again, your body will make it. You might have low energy, but you would live. But protein and fats, they are actually essential nutrients. Our body does need them. Our bodies do make amino acids. They come from proteins and fats. So even though our diets are carb heavy, they're still more non-essential, where protein and fats are essential. Protein and fats are involved with cell building, and we need that in order to function. We need carbohydrates. As a way to function for everyday living, but for our hearts and our organs, for weight loss, we need protein. So we also need to figure out what is going on with our bodies, and what we are eating can actually increase hunger hormones, or it can actually shut them off. So if we're hungry the entire day, ladies, most likely something is wrong, and you're definitely not going to be able to lose fat because we're just starving all of the time and we just want to eat all of the time. So what we want to do is we want to learn to put things on our plate that is going to shut off our hunger hormones and keep us full. The whole "you should be eating every couple of hours" is a myth, and it's a big baloney statement, and it's just not helpful. So maybe if you have hyperthyroidism, but not in regular life for regular folks, you should be feeling full and satisfied after each meal that you eat, and not wanting to eat an hour or so later. So eating foods that we like will help also. Not eating what I tell you to, but actually eating the foods that you pick out. So yes, I do help you make food choices so that you can understand how to build a fat loss plate. But let me give you a little bit of science behind what we do here at Fat Loss Mom School. Because if we know why we are supposed to do something, it usually makes a big impact on us instead of me just telling you to eat it, right? So we have 3 micronutrients. We have protein, which breaks down into amino acids, and then we have fats, and that breaks down the fatty acid and glycerol. And then we have carbohydrates, and that breaks down the glucose in our bodies. So those are all fancy words, but basically my whole program revolves around blood sugar control, and that's what I teach. So that's why I'm mainly talking about carbs, and since that is what breaks down in your sugar. So the normal range for blood sugar is somewhere between 70 and 120. So anywhere kind of, in between those is a good place to be. So, but when we eat a meal that's all carbohydrates, doesn't matter if it's healthy or non-healthy, if it's oatmeal or fruit or grits, it's all carbohydrates. Smoothies with strawberries and bananas and juice, it's all carbs. Pancakes, waffles, syrup, bagels, healthy or not. The point is that they are all carbohydrates. And what are those carbs breaking down to? It's glucose. It's 100% sugar. So what happens to our bodies when we are eating a meal really high in carbohydrates is that our body sugar, or our blood sugars, they spike really high, and our bodies don't like that. Our bodies are constantly trying to maintain homeostasis. In other words, it's trying to stay stable. It doesn't like change. It wants to be the same because it knows if it goes too high or even too low, you can actually go into a coma. If you are diabetic, you would know that. My daughter is type 1 diabetic, so I know it happens, and it has happened to her. And if your blood sugar is really high, it's screaming like, whoa, whoa. And it's producing a hormone called insulin. And insulin is a normal hormone, and we all need it. It helps get those carbohydrates into our cells so that we can use them for energy. So everyone knows, or at least they should know, that we do need insulin. And but what happens if we have a high carb meal is that it releases too much insulin, and then that's the whole big thing, right? What goes up must come down. So now we have low blood sugar, and that's where cravings come in. And cravings is a whole new video that we'll do on another day. But when our blood sugar crashes, we are actually craving. We're craving things like a brownie or a granola bar or graham crackers or something that wants to pick us back up, right? Because our body is smart and it knows that we need more carbs to get us back up. So now it's 10 or 11 a.m. and we're hungry, and we are looking for answers. We have nothing for lunch, but maybe, maybe we're hoping for pizza or some burgers and fries. So now we've eaten another really high carb meal, and it's 2:00. And so now we're looking for another pick me up, right? So we're looking for a coffee or something else with some sugar. So maybe we decide to white knuckle it for dinner. And then we're really starving, and we open the pantry and we start eating chips and salsa right before dinner is made. Maybe we have a healthy dinner salad, but at that point we're so unsatisfied that we start binging and grazing and snacking all of the time. Because at the end of the day, you're not really satisfied because we've been on this blood sugar roller coaster ride all day long. And it's been up and down, spiking and crashing, and you're not satisfied. And I kind of compare that to being in a car with a 16-year-old that just got their driver's license, and it's like, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. And it's like super exhausting. So that's what happens when your blood sugar is going up and down all day long. You're exhausted and you're crashing. And I know that many of you women can relate to this. And it also happens when we skip meals. We allow our blood sugars to go really low by mid-afternoon, and then we're binging and overeating and doing the exact same thing. So studies actually show that if we have a high protein breakfast, it's going to help aid in fat loss. But also with blood sugar control, which I'm hoping you can see is super important, you need to eat breakfast in the morning. So saving calories for later it just doesn't work. So in order to keep your blood sugar stable, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start off our morning with protein, fats, and fiber. We call them the PFFs. And those three things, they are things that don't break down your blood sugar. They will keep your blood sugars stable, and they'll help keep your cravings at bay. They'll help with satiety, keep you fuller longer. And then if you do decide to eat a carbohydrate, just make sure you read your labels and actually eat the portion size. That's kind of one of the problems that we have in society today, is that they are way overeating the recommended amount of carbohydrates. And you can figure that out just by reading your labels. If you're reading something in a package and it says serving size 15 crackers, then you know that's your serving size. Eat 15 crackers. Or if you're having pasta and it says a cup and a half of noodles, that's your portion size, a cup and a half of noodles. And so in my coaching program, I actually go deeper into that. But it's typically, like one slice of bread per meal or whatever. So one serving per meal, and then balance it out by having a protein and a fat on your plate. And then consistently eating 3 meals a day will help keep your blood sugar more stable, maybe one snack. And that will keep your blood sugar in the normal range. And also it's going to help you lose fat. Insulin is a storage hormone, and when we overproduce it, it actually tells our body that we're in storage mode. And our bodies can't be in storage mode and breakdown mode at the same time. So if you're constantly producing insulin, you are telling your body to turn off the burning mode. So that's typically the reason we break from having a carb at each meal, so that we can break our bodies from producing insulin and then go into fat burning mode. So I'm hoping that a few light bulbs are really going off in some heads right now, and that what I'm making makes sense. So what I teach in my program is not only to balance your hormones at home when you're eating, but also being able to go out into the world and build a fat loss plate. And that's filling your plate with veggies first, because veggies are filling and they're full of water and fiber, stretching our bellies to keep them full. And if you increase your veggies, you will naturally lose fat. Protein shuts off hunger. Fat actually promotes satiety and fullness in your body. And carbs should be 1/4 of your plate or less, and only 1 or 2 servings a day max. So say you're having scrambled eggs in the morning, you can load them with veggies. Now, breakfast veggies are completely optional, but they are a game changer. When you start your day off with them, you will notice a huge change in your palate. So maybe on the side, you can have your eggs with a piece of toast, top it with 2 tablespoons of smashed avocado or nut butter. So that's really going to increase your protein intake also. Or say you're a smoothie person, don't use juice as your base. Use almond milk or water, and then add some protein powder, maybe a serving of berries. You can throw some spinach in there. You'll never ever taste it. And then add a fat, maybe some nut butter or some avocado. That makes smoothies super, super creamy. Or maybe even some low carb yogurt, or a handful of berries and slivered nuts. Or if you do have some oatmeal, add some like a protein to it, oh my gosh, I'm totally losing my train of thought here. Sorry. A protein shake, you know what I mean. And that's going to add fiber to it. So remember that whole food sources are high in fiber. Look at your labels. The goal here is to impact our blood sugars less. And that is what is, again, going to keep our blood sugar stable all day long. what I'm doing is, if you are interested in receiving my free guide to fat loss, it's the exact material that I use in my coaching group, and it's yours as a gift just for watching this video, and just as a freebie to help get you started on your fat loss journey. So I'm going to put the link in the comments, and feel free to just download it. And it's a great place to start. Just follow the meal template. And also, if you are interested in seeing more videos like this, make sure and hit subscribe. So thanks for watching. I do hope to see you in the next video. And again, for the free download, just click the link in the video, and then it'll send you to a place to put your email in, and then it'll be an immediate download. So thanks for these last 15 minutes, and I really hope you have a blessed day. Bye.